So, good afternoon, everybody. I just will do a very short announcement before the real announcement starts, so that you are a bit more familiar with who will make the real announcement in a minute. We will have the Right Honourable Alan Milburn with us to my right. In German university understanding, that is something like the president of the university, also called Chancellor. Alan Milburn was installed as Lancaster University Chancellor in 2015. Alan was a member of Parliament for Darling between 1992 and 2010, and I took some notes. It's a very lively CV. He served in the cabinet as Chief Secretary to the Treasury, Secretary of State for Health, and Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster. He was Chair of the Social Mobility Commission from 2012 to 2017, Chair of PricewaterhouseCoopers UK Health Oversight Board, and so on and so forth. So that is the Chancellor. We also have, of course, Professor Dr. Andy Schofield as the Vice Chancellor, which in German university terms would be a rector. So just to know, and of course both came over and showing the importance of the degree. Andy joined Lancaster University as Vice Chancellor in 2020, and he's the Chief Executive of the university and has overall responsibility for its operation and strategic direction. He was previously Pro-Vice Chancellor and Head of the College of Engineering in the University of Birmingham, and he also did serious research. Theoretical physicist working in the areas of condensed matter physics, specializing in correlated electrons. We keep that for later. And then we also have Nicola Owen, is the Deputy Chief Executive Operations at Lancaster University. Together with the Director of Finance, she leads the professional services at Lancaster. As Secretary, she has responsibility for the operation of governance and support to the Council, as well as a number of other legal, governance and licensing roles, and was before also with the University of Warwick. Thanks a lot for everybody for coming. That was very short. I took luckily notes, otherwise I would have messed it up.
I declare the congregation open. Members of the university, guests, and especially all of you graduating here today. It's an enormous pleasure to be here in this wonderful city, in this amazing building, on what is a very, very special day. This is Lancaster University Leipzig's first graduation ceremony. And I'm very proud, as are my colleagues, to be here today to share it with you. A very special welcome to the family and friends of our students who are graduating here today. I know you will be feeling especially proud of what each of your friend or your family has achieved. Those of you who are graduating here today really are the pioneers of Lancaster University Leipzig. It's really unbelievable that it's only 3 years since we created the university here with our partners Navitas, who are here today with us. And so we became the first British university to establish a branch campus here in Germany. And I like to think that LU Leipzig is a living exemplar of the bond of friendship and the shared hopes for the future that exists between our two countries. On behalf of the university, I'd like to thank a number of people. I'd like to thank Navitas, our partners, for being such great partners. I'd like to thank our staff in particular, all of whom, like our students, were new. So they did a very special thing. They did a startup, which is an unusual thing to happen in higher education, believe me, and they've done it with exemplary conduct. They really have, each and every one of you. We owe you an enormous debt of gratitude, so thank you. And finally, last but by no means least, to our students, who took the bold venture to join us, and then found that we faced a global pandemic. So I want to thank you as much as anything else for sticking with us. I know it hasn't been the easiest time to be a student in higher education, but you really have blazed a trail, and I think set the highest standards for future cohorts of students. Where you lead today, we hope that many hundreds of students will follow in the years to come, so thank you. Today you're joining a community It's a community of over 170,000 alumni who come from virtually every country in the world. When you graduate from Lancaster, you join that community, and it's an extremely special one. It represents in many ways the best of today's world. People who are high achievers, great thinkers, top leaders, people who are making a difference. I'm going to let you into a secret. Like you, I'm a graduate from Lancaster University. The only difference I graduated in a different world, my friends. I graduated in 1979. The world was a different place, and believe me, Lancaster University was different too. For a start, it was about half the size. So today, you are part of a far bigger university, but you're also part of a far better one. In fact, nowadays Lancaster is so good, I'd honestly struggle to get in if I applied. According to the Complete University Guide, Lancaster is in the top 10 of all universities in the UK, and within the next few years our aim is to be in the top 100 worldwide. But whilst Lancaster is an elite university, we stay true to our founding principles, that this should be a university open to all with talent and potential. Our philosophy is a very simple one. What counts is not where you came from in the past, but whether you are prepared to put in the effort to create a better future. For yourselves, as well as for others. As graduates, you can help this wonderful country and its neighbours fulfil their ambitions to grow economically, be inclusive socially, and hopefully bring lasting prosperity to all of their citizens in the years to come. What we seek to do here at LU Leipzig is to equip the next generation of leaders, because that is what you will be, with the right attributes to make a real difference in the world, to be agile in their thinking, purposeful in their focus, and outward-looking in their demeanour. Lancaster is and will remain a university that is open to the world. We believe in something else. We believe in building bridges, not walls. We have a campus not here, just here in Germany, but we have one in Ghana, another in Malaysia, and finally we have one in China. We are unashamedly a global university. Why? Because, my friends, we live in a global world, which is becoming increasingly globalized. For myself, as a Lancaster graduate, the university will always be the place that gave me the strongest possible foundations for my life and my career. My time there was a gift. It gave me skills well beyond my studies. How to learn, how to analyse, how to argue, how to question. It taught me too the relationship between effort and reward. If it's easy, it isn't really worth doing. It's the hard things in life that make you. And as you all now know as graduates, there are no easy degrees here at LU Leipzig. Everyone has to be earned through dedication, commitment, and sheer hard work. So a graduation ceremony is often thought of something that celebrates the intelligence of our students. And intelligent you undoubtedly are. But we celebrate something else too. Not just your intelligence, but also your resilience. Your ability to rise to a challenge and to beat it. The degree you have earned from this university is a passport, should you choose to use it, to a lifetime of opportunity. As I've talked to you, you all come from very different backgrounds and no doubt will end up living and working in very different locations. But in the end, you are part of the Lancaster community, all bound together by one common history. So when you leave here, you will take something of Lancaster with you. The friends you've made, the tutors you've met, the knowledge you've gained, what you have learned from your studies. But above all, I hope what you take away is what you've learned about yourselves. That if you persevere, it pays off. That if you follow your dreams, you can rise to a higher level. That if you listen to your hearts, you can achieve great things. Each of you has proved that you have what it takes to make a success of life. So my advice to you is very simple. Be bold, be brave, believe in yourselves. You have a wonderful, wonderful future ahead of you. On behalf of this great university, I wish you all the very best for whatever path life takes you. Enjoy it. You have well and truly earned it. Thank you.
So thanks for the wise words. I hoped I would have had similar words when I was a student, and just would follow half of the words that you just shared with us. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to welcome you, and we, both of us, wanted to give a quick, not a full speech, but a couple of words. We wholeheartedly looked forward for this event, and look forward to celebrate with the students, all staff included, and of course I saw already for some staff members tears of joy in their eyes, because they really hope that everybody of the students will make it through to here. It's the first time, as you know, history has to start somewhere, and it could be not in a better place with Goethe just in front of the door, with the University of Leipzig around. So you're in really good company, and it's a great combination of the strength of the UK higher education system and the German community as elsewhere. Where did it start? We had the foundation year in 2020. I was not around, but some of you will remember the crazy times. 2021, then the start of the BC program, leading now to an institution that has the strong pillars of a regular institution. We do have now approximately 400 students on campus, 100 nationalities, and I can tell you that fills me with joy to see all these different cultures learning together, and I think that is something definitely unusual for Germany, because we are probably one of the most international campuses, but it's also unusual for where we are in terms of times, and we can only hope that we can work together that well. Before we celebrate the students, I also wanted to say thank you to all staff members on the academic professional service side, and whoever worked behind the curtains for this ceremony, but also over all the years. And of course, you will have your chance in a minute. I look just to Ellie, who was there the whole time. We do have a full portfolio of programs on the computer science and management side, where staff work relentlessly on improving and furthering the education of everybody involved. We do have researchers attracted from quite a diverse set of universities. We do not have to hide behind any of the top players in the German market if you look at the research output of the individuals, and we try to grow that. We also do engage with the regional cluster here, with the economy, with the city, so thanks also for the city to support. Thanks also, I see Leipzig Science Network, for example, and the other universities who are welcoming us in a very nice manner. It's important to work with stakeholders, and I also wanted to thank Filoro for the support of this ceremony, particularly Stefan Zweigelt. You will very soon see what they sponsored. I just lurk over to the table over there, and hopefully the graduates will show around what they will receive. So thanks a lot for welcoming us. Just the milestones for us in the future. We are now about 400 students. It's very simple, and when I talk to colleagues, the first big milestone is the first graduate. You are our first big milestone as an achievement. A university without graduates is not a university. So you make this university complete. The next milestone will be 1,000 students on campus. We're not yet there, but we're a little bit more than 400 in the not too distant future. And then somewhere there will be hopefully more bigger milestones to achieve, but I think these are the ones that we look forward to. Now, I can talk a lot about it, but I only joined last year, so you achieved everything. I was happy to join at this stage, and also to give, of course, now Ellie the time to say something, the lady who was with you guys from the very first moment. Thanks a lot to everybody.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, I did have the pleasure to meet this first cohort from the very beginning. As you heard, some graduates joined us in January 2020, the others joined us in October 2020, and you may remember that at this time a certain virus brought the globe to a halt. This group of students was brave to stick with their studies when only after 2 months into it the first lockdown happened, and also brave to start their journey amidst the heights of the pandemic. This cohort has undergone with us the journey of being pretty much the first in everything, the first to receive teaching of any module ever delivered at AU Leipzig, the first to experience not only 1 but 2 campus moves, the first to benefit from the operation of our current campus at Strohsack Passage, the first to go to Lancaster University in the UK as an exchange student, the first to sit final exams, the first to hit the labor market with a Lancaster degree obtained in Leipzig, and now our very first alumni. I deeply feel that these experiences mean we give to this cohort of students more than just good marks. We give to them the skill of resilience, of adapting to change, and the ability to actively build their and our futures. And for this I'm very proud, and I thank you for going this journey with us, and I'm really happy that I could be a part of your journey too. Now, I would also like to introduce our 2 external speakers, and thank you for the time that you join us. You will be hearing from Robert Bay, who speaks to us on behalf of Land Sachsen. After his law studies, a career in politics and justice, including as head judge of the Higher Regional Court of Saxony, he joined the now called Ministry for Justice, Democracy, Europe and Equality in 2010. He now heads up the Department 3 of this ministry, which deals with digitalization, criminal and civil law. Following Mr. Bay, you will hear from Dr. Gabriele Goldfuß, speaking to us on behalf of the city of Leipzig, having obtained her PhD in Chinese studies by the University of Paris and worked in academia prior in Paris, Leipzig and Taipei. Dr. Goldfuß now serves as director of the Office for International Affairs of the city of Leipzig and is responsible for the international strategy and coordination of the international affairs of this city. I thank you both for taking the time to speaking to us and our graduates and families.
Dear Chancellor of Lancaster University, Professor Milburn, dear Vice Chancellor, Professor Schofield, dear students, dear ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to represent Saxony's Ministry of Justice, Democracy, European Affairs and Gender Equality at this year's graduation event. Congratulations are in order, of course, to you, the new graduates, of course. You have every reason to be proud of your achievements. I would like to extend my congratulations to your friends and families as well, and I hope that many of them are with you today to share these special moments with you and to adjust your academic caps if you need. The future is yours, and this I feel I cannot stress enough in the current climate on this very special campus and in the context of Anglo-German relations. Ever since Brexit, we have grown accustomed to framing our relations in the past terms, mourning for what we have lost. This is not altogether surprising. Both in terms of political rhetoric and historic perspective, Brexit and continues to be framed as a backwards-looking decision, or that was grounded in a struggle to reconnect with some ideas of the past, contested as this idea may be. For some, it boils down to the oversimplified formula past perfect, present imperfect, future tense. No matter what your position on Brexit and the UK's relationship with Europe is, it is safe to say that we are struggling to move on from here. Maybe this is why we find it hard to grasp the opportunities of the present and to meet its all challenges. This can be a problem. If you consider the amount of legal and practical uncertainties that have popped up over the last few years, I'm thinking of economic relations, of financial obligations, the rights of EU citizens living in the UK, and of student mobility. All of these issues need to be worked on. All of them require more, rather than less, dialogue between our nations. And here in Saxony, we are committed to this kind of dialogue. Civil initiatives like the various German British societies continue to promote cultural exchange to facilitate personal encounters. Partnerships between our cities, like those between Leipzig and Birmingham or Dresden and Coventry, will continue to grow. And even so, they may be hampered by more red tape now. I'm happy to report that we, as the state government of Saxony, are equally committed to maintaining good relations with the UK. Only last year, a delegation consisting of 25 people visited Great Britain to meet politicians and business representatives and to discuss mobility and the emerging hydrogen industry, among other things. Export from Saxony to Great Britain is on the rise. Diplomatic relationships are looking up again, and we are all too well aware how important it is to keep the conversation going. The challenges of the present, God knows there are many of them, require joint efforts, not just within the European Union. Past perfect, future tense, this formula simply will not do. And I have every reason to believe that this lesson is not lost on you, the class of 2023. I'm sure that many of you are currently plotting their next steps, wondering about the best way to apply your skills and to build a future, your future, for yourselves and others. At this point, I would like to point that the state of Saxony is always on the lookout for young professionals. And I hope you will not only be open to the world, but a little bit for Saxony. Those of you who have specialized in computer sciences and software engineering, for example, and please accept my apologies if this sounds like an ad break, might want to find out more about the job opportunities within the IT branch of Saxony's justice system. As you may know or not be aware, the judiciary here in Saxony is in the middle of one of the biggest transformations it has ever seen. You have to know, our whole justice apparatus is in the process of being switched in digital documents in electronic filing, aiming to complete the process by January 1st, 2026. I cannot even begin to describe how fundamental this transformation is. If you want to find out more, maybe look up at the LIT, see in Google, our coordination center. Not only that they are in charge of all the technology used in our courthouses, public attorneys' offices and penitentiaries, they are also responsible for our servers, our hardware, our database, our data security, all of it. To do that, they are always look on the new stuff, not to mention software developers and other kinds of IT experts. Please regard Saxony. So I'm presenting you with the opportunity just to become a part of the justice system here at Saxony. I see the most of you will leave us, and I hope you will have good ideas, good remembrance to the past and the days you passed here in Leipzig. Not simple past, not past perfect then, but future promising and still to be written. I congratulate you all on your academic success, and I hope that you will look back on your studies here at Lancaster University fondly and with gratitude. Thank you very much.
Students, families and friends, a warm welcome, and also dear guests and promoters of the Lancaster University. I'm really overwhelmed to be here today, and I'm sorry that the weather is not as fine as I would have wished it to be, but I can tell you it can be worse by the end of October, so at least we should be happy that it ceased raining right before the beginning of the ceremony. And maybe you'd like to know where you are. This is the old stock exchange of the city of Leipzig. It does belong to the city hall, and especially to the wonderful building right next to here, which is the City Historic Museum, one of the finest Renaissance buildings north of the Alps. And maybe some of you have time to walk a bit around. Not today, it will be closed by the time we are finished here, but maybe tomorrow. And I hope that many of you have already actually been in here. If not, I volunteer for a tour for further cohorts, and so does certainly my colleague, the director of this beautiful museum. Actually, I'm absolutely thrilled that Lancaster University is now a part of City of Leipzig's international life, and that you join all this network of networkers. Like I was really very happy to hear that you also reach out to Ghana, to Malaysia, if I heard correctly, because other really winners or leaders of the city, like our RB Leipzig, for example, they also have their networks all over the world, in the US, in Latin America, in India. I think they train young players in Goa, and so is another campus of higher education, the RAN Education. They do also have partners in Africa, in Ghana, as well as in Egypt, but also in our sister city Kiev and in Poland, in several places there. So the city of Leipzig itself is also a networker. You mentioned our sister cities. Today our mayor, Burkhard Jung, is president of the Eurocities network. And so basically almost all European cities are kind of linked to us. And we do also, like has been mentioned already, connect ourselves strongly to the UK. Our sister city Birmingham is just one partner, and next year we are planning to dedicate our opera ball to Great Britain. I mean, you have wonderful music and much more to offer, so already now I would like to invite you on November, I think it's November 2nd, so please mark this on your calendars, but you will get invitations very soon, and maybe you can even add something very special to this event. This will be dedicated to your great culture and your great music, which of course in Leipzig is also celebrated widely, not just now by the opera Peter Grimes at our opera Leipzig, and I hope you did already see that. If not, another invitation from my side. And the current director of the opera is a graduate of Trinity College, I may say. So maybe further graduates of your institution will then also be future leaders of Leipzig. We are looking forward to this. First of all, congratulations. The graduation, of course, is something very special for all of you, but as you are the first age group of the university, this is also very special for the institution. We have heard about this, and actually you really did make this graduation. You mentioned Goethe, who is standing in front of this. He didn't make it to graduation here in Leipzig. He was more attracted to our Bachskeller and to the nice ladies hanging around the place. Maybe some of you also had some further experiences, let's say. I know that you are all very, that you stick very much to your books and computers rather than to the books, and probably did not go to these famous clubs that make Leipzig so interesting for young students. But in case you did well. I hope you always felt at home in Leipzig, enjoyed the city, inhaled some of the Leipzig spirit, some spirits also, like the Allasch maybe. Of course, from a City of Leipzig perspective, I can tell you that we hope that some of you will stay in the city or at least keep a lively relationship with our city. Personal relations and networks are a key factor for success. You have been told this over and over again, but it's really true. As you have experienced, Leipzig is a modern, dynamic and vibrant city. Over the last 2 decades, we saw a massive economic growth and diversification, resulting in multiple new job opportunities and chances for business. I'm not repeating the ad again, but I hope, I hope that you could witness this process too, and that we also, we try really. Our vocation is to stand up to the great past that our city had. Before the First World War, it was the second richest city in the German-speaking world. So, we are far from that, but we are not. But we will not despair, and we think we can and will do much, much better in the future. The city of Leipzig in general and my office in particular have framed and keep on framing this development by an internationalization strategy that is supporting international institutions throughout the city like Lancaster University. We really love to work together with you, and we want to create an international and cosmopolitan environment in the city to make Leipzig even more attractive to work, to live, to study, and to play. As you know, we live in challenging times. International crises emerge all over the globe. We experience people fleeing of hunger due to conflicts or because they face the consequences of the ongoing climate change. At the same time, a shortage of skilled labor can be observed everywhere. As municipality, we can use our city diplomacy, our networks, our knowledge of local partners to set positive impulses, and we really do want to do so. We want to find small solutions, local solutions to big global problems, and indeed, we can contribute to a better world. When you are leaving Leipzig, I hope that you also take some of the DNA of our city with you. Thus, I would like to encourage you to take over responsibility, you have been said so already, to relate to the democratic heritage of Leipzig, to the peaceful revolution of 1989 and 1990, and to become a bridge builder in the world. We hope that you do not just become a good professional, but that you become an active member of your communities wherever you are. I would also like to use the opportunity to express my gratitude to the Lancaster University. You did not just qualify young people, but within a short period of time and a very, very complicated period of time. I've just learned in Dublin that in the English-speaking world, BC no longer means before Christ, but before Corona. And so I think that's a little bit how we look at things now. In these difficult times, you did not just qualify these brilliant young people, but you became an active member of the local science community. You enriched Leipzig by becoming a member of the Leipzig Science Network. You took part in the so-called Lange Nacht der Wissenschaften, the long night of science. I don't know whether there's a better translation. And you are more and more visible to the public, not just today with all the hats and gowns. Please continue this way. We are happy, really very happy to have you. Let me conclude by wishing you all the best for your future. Leipzig will always be a special part of you. As first alumni of the Lancaster University Leipzig, you are indeed special representatives of the university and the city. Thank you very, very much.
So thanks a lot for the speeches. I must also say, although I was not practically there, but without the openness of the state of Saxony and the support of the city of Leipzig, this would be not possible. And I must say, as a German statesman, this makes me really happy. And I think it's also the least bureaucratic thing I've ever seen in this I'm now 44. Wow. I have not seen anything less bureaucratic, and I think that's very important, because otherwise this would not happen, and it might have happened elsewhere. So please share with your colleagues. I think it's very, very important. Now we can talk for ages, dear students or graduates, not students anymore. Oh, is it now finished, or do we still? Oh no! Oh, there was something very important missing. Yeah, okay. Of course, now is the time of the evening that all of you came for and waiting for, the delivery of the graduation ceremony. We will ask every student, according to the different programs, to come to stage one by one. You might come to stage, yeah. Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate, I present these members of Lancaster University taught in Leipzig who are worthy to receive higher degrees of the university. I might make this, can I take this back on top? You will know better?
No, that's good.
That's good, okay. Well,
Beautiful.
always an instruction for German is important, but we don't want to continue further. We've got things to do. For the degree of Bachelor of BC Hons Accounting and Finance, Alistair John Akaki Akora. Kingsley Fernandez. For the degree of Bachelor of BC Hons Business and Management, and the students already know who will come, I do it the German way, Leonhard Baer. Parneet Sidhu. Elias Balgabayev. For the degree of Bachelor of BC Hons Computer Science, Philip Christi Mihai. Oh, she's waiting. Catherine Klein. Ben Schüring. For the degree of Bachelor of BSc on Software Engineering, Hala Al-Kaisi. Tudor Mihai Dumitru. And last but not least, Ahmed Dusser. Well, there's no chance for future generations to ever join the first cohort of Leipzig, LU Leipzig. So you made history. Thanks for trusting us. We will only need now the Chancellor on stage. Some extra work, overtime work. We come to something very special, which is important. The honoring of a special graduate who achieved the highest grades in the cohort overall. The Chancellor's Medal. The Chancellor's Medal was introduced in 2004 to mark Her Royal Highness Princess Alexandra's 40th years of service as the university's founding Chancellor. A small number of medals are presented each year for the most meritorious students of the university and its partners. We are pleased to award the first Chancellor's Medal, and we're pleased for many, many, many different reasons. And somebody's already moving. Perhaps we changed our mind last minute. We are pleased to award the first Chancellor's Medal of LU Leipzig to Hala Al-Kaisi. Just to add 2 words, it's of course a special story in many aspects and a great achievement. Originally from Syria, Hara arrived with her family in Germany in 2018 as a refugee. I think we all will agree, I mean the circumstances also currently happening, all the conflicts, is not an easy one. I cannot imagine, I suppose this might be your parents. I cannot imagine how proud you must be. So it's a real great achievement. You studied. And just for completeness sake, you studied since 2020 software engineering with us. All the best, and all the rest also all the best, but also very special congratulations for the medal. We leave now. You're done, not for the moment.
And now we get to a part that perhaps is a bit unusual to our British guests, because we are now announcing the graduates' speech. We will have two presenters, Catherine and Leonard. Catherine Klein joined us in October 2020 as student of Bachelor Program Computer Science. She presented her cohort as student rep and also volunteered as student ambassador and as founding member of the social committee. Recently, she presented very well, I must say, the University in Diverse IT, a meetup of IT industry and academia discussing diversity-related issues in this employment sector that we started to run at AU Leipzig. Leonard Baer joined us in January 2020. Originally from Leipzig, he brought with him a vast amount of knowledge and helped newly arrived students through their first settlement negotiations. He volunteered as student rep, student ambassador, and took over our social media channel back in 2019, when he was actually one of our first applicants and wanted to start in October, but we were not ready yet, so we gave him something else to do in the meantime. So what did he do? He showcased his Leipzig to probably some of you and enabled everyone to have an ease of arrival. His second year, Leo spent in Lancaster at our UK campus, and just 3 weeks ago, he joined again the first cohort of our master students here at Lancaster, Leipzig. So, but I said enough. Please, can you take over?
Well, hello to you all. So, before we start things off, I want to say congratulations to you all. Students, teachers, all the different staff members, families and friends, of course. You all made this thing happen. And so while you're also listening to me, and I got your attention for a second, I have a little fun fact for you. As you all know, we're the first graduating cohort at Lancaster Leipzig, but we're also the smallest one. We're even smaller than the first graduating cohort of 1964 in Lancaster. So now let me get into things the way I usually do. A little bit unprepared. And I do not mean this in a negative way. I mean this in a, back in 2020, I wasn't really prepared for this 3 years bachelor journey kind of way. And I remember sending my first email to Lancaster, not knowing of the joys that were ahead to come. I was simply unprepared. And so must have been most of you, and maybe just some of you, or even if it is just a few of you, I know and I share that feeling. And now we're all here together, graduating. And I could go on to tell you guys about the coffee machine that we had at Augustusplatz, or some other anecdote that I pulled out the top of my head. But I just want to leave you with one thought. You came here, depending on what type of people you are, mostly unprepared to what was ahead of you. And we had to be guided, but we ended up being the guides. Because we, as a community, shaped this university. Our experiences have molded our values and beliefs deeply into the spirit of this campus. And will continue to do so with every graduating cohort ahead and every new student joining. So be proud of yourselves, because you truly deserve it.
With us being part of the foundation of this new campus, university ended up being quite different for us compared to others. You know, we started with having classes of at most 15 people, and then COVID hit, as everyone has previously been mentioning, which made us go online and took away our opportunity to actually get to know both Lancaster and also the city of Leipzig itself. And even though we had all of those challenges, we still managed to make the best of the 3 years here. We managed to have international days at the university and games nights and just so many more opportunities. I mean, we started in those rented offices in Augustusplatz and we actually made it into our own space. We've managed to have so many adventures, both with the university and also for those of us that were living in base camp. You know, we managed to go football games, rafting, just as I mentioned previously, games nights, anything that you can think of, chances are we had the opportunity to actually do that. And even with the challenges that we were facing, we managed to make the best of the 3 years here. We managed to explore a new city. Some of us maybe attempted to learn a new language. And even though we had those challenges, we managed to make our own version of a lifetime of memories. I don't think the last 3 years have been particularly easy for any of us. You know, we were coming in here figuring out how to be first-year students, and the university was right there next to us, figuring out how to deal with first-year students. I mean, can't the same be said for second year and third year, and I mean, even this graduation right now. You know, just as we were growing as students, the university was right there, growing with us, learning how to actually do this whole university thing, and also how to deal with us, which might not have always been the easiest thing in the world. But, you know, it meant that we got to have a unique bond, a unique experience that people wish that they could have. Yes, okay, you know, we had some negatives. Sometimes timetables might have been a little bit late or wrong. Sometimes submissions might have gone just a little bit haywire. But even with those tiny little negatives, there were so many positives in us finding our footing together. We got to have genuine relationships with our lecturers. We got to have games nights with our tech guy. We managed to have the opportunity to actually make our own lasting imprint here, which I think is something that so many people wish that they could say.
So talking about memories and lasting imprints, let me just backtrack a couple of years. When I made a choice to come here, when we all made the choice to come here. And while some decisions may have been fully thought through, others may have been a bit of a convenience choice. But we all ended up here together, and I've spent the past 4 years being grateful for this opportunity. Because we all jumped into cold waters and embarked on a journey of beginning an academic career, building a campus, laying the foundations for future international students in Leipzig. And I want to appreciate those efforts we all made to end up here together. Each choice, each one of you, you all have your different backgrounds, your different life stories, memories. And I would love to share each and every single one of them with you. But unfortunately, we only get to share 5 minutes with you today. So I can't really do that. But what I can do is I can leave you with some last wise words from Catherine.
You know, as a proud South African, I kind of figured that I would end this by talking about a South African quote that we have. And it goes, Umuntu, Ngumuntu, Ngabantu. What you might more commonly actually know as Ubuntu, which talks about having humanity for others. It follows the idea that I am because you are. I am who I am because of all of the people in my life. And yes, okay, while it may have only been 3 years here, we all are who we are because of people in this room. Whether it be your parents, your siblings, friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, it doesn't matter. It's because of all of you that I am who I am today. And it's because of all of us that this university is what it is today. I would just like to say, as my final words to the graduating class, I am who I am because of all of you, and I could never be more grateful or proud of that. I hope you go into the world, achieve those dreams that people doubted you for having, make those memories that you can tell your kids about, fall in love, be happy, do stupid things, do everything. But I hope that no matter what, you remember that you have a family here at Lancaster University Leipzig. And so it is with that that I say to the class of 2023, congratulations, guys. We actually did it. Yeah.
Thanks for the great speech. We could have listened even more than the 5 minutes, I must say. I would have been curious about all the nitty-gritty stories that you would have to share. Luckily, Leo is with us for a bit more of time, so let's see if I can find out more. Before we close, I think it's also important really to remember what the Chancellor already said. Everything is possible for you. You have the license to operate many of your dreams now. Take it serious, but also never shy away. You know that you can change an institution like you did. You can also change other institutions, and also be grateful for the opportunities that you had because of others that enabled it for you. So try to give back as much as you can in the future. This world needs change. Before closing, we would like to invite you also for a glass of champagne downstairs and congratulate you with the champagne in the hand.
And if you want to visit the campus again, you know where it is. It's only about 3 minutes away. Everyone is invited over there, and I'm sure we all look forward to taking those things off, so that would also be over there.
Yeah, this is now coming to an end. I hope it was also pleasant for all of you guys, because it's, you know, it could be also German bureaucratic. I felt this graduation is very lively and celebratory at the same time with great content, so thanks also for everybody else. But how great it is, you also celebrate and not dragging on for too long. May I ask the Chancellor on the stage for the last remarks? Please may all graduates and academic colleagues stand for the last words.
Friends, colleagues, and most importantly of all, graduates, thank you for today's event. Thank you for the wonderful, wonderful speeches from all of our colleagues, from our guests, from our staff, and most importantly from our students. I feel incredibly proud of what you guys have achieved. And you really have set a benchmark that is way up here. It's always good in life to have something to aspire to, and you've set the very, very highest standards indeed. So thank you. With that, I can now declare closed this congregation of the University of Lancaster, Leipzig. Long may the university prosper. Thank you.